Welcome to Learn English with Sara. I'm so happy to have you here today. And in this lesson, we're going to explore a topic that everyone can relate to describing your home in English. This is one of the most practical and natural conversation topics you will use in everyday life, whether you're meeting someone new, joining an online class, or simply talking with friends from different countries. Today, I will guide you step by step through useful expressions, natural vocabulary, and simple ways to describe your living space with confidence. So sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey into speaking English through real familiar topics. When you describe your home, you're not only talking about walls, rooms, or furniture. You're also sharing a part of your life where you rest after a long day, where you create memories, and where you feel most yourself. That's why this topic is so meaningful. We start with the basics: what kind of place you live in. You may say, I live in a house, or I live in an apartment, or even I live in a shared house with friends. If you live in a tall building, mentioning the floor makes the description clearer and more natural, like I live on the 4th floor, or my apartment is on the 3rd floor of a modern building. These are simple sentences, but they immediately help listeners imagine your environment. You can also add the name of your city or town, such as I live in a quiet town near the coast, or I live in a busy city where everything is close. These small details make your introduction more complete and more interesting. Once you've introduced the type of home you live in, you can move inside and describe the rooms. Most homes have a few main areas: a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom. But instead of listing everything like a checklist, it's better to describe the atmosphere and the feeling of each room. For example, you could say my apartment is small but cozy, with soft lighting and a few plants that make the space feel warm. Or my house is bright and spacious, with big windows that let in the morning sunlight. Descriptions like these help people visualize your home as if they were standing inside it. Let's start with the living room, because this is often the heart of the home. You can describe what furniture you have, but also how the room makes you feel. You might say, my living room has a big gray sofa, a small coffee table, and a warm lamp in the corner, or the walls are light blue, and I have a few art prints that I collected during my travels. Adding colors, objects, and small personal touches makes your English sound more natural and expressive. From the living room, we move to the kitchen. Many people feel that the kitchen tells a story about someone's lifestyle, whether they love cooking, enjoy simple meals, or spend mornings with a warm cup of tea. You can describe your kitchen as small but modern, bright and practical, or old but well organized. Mentioning objects like a fridge, stove, sink, or cabinets helps create a fuller picture. You could say my kitchen has white cabinets and a big window that makes the room feel fresh, or I enjoy cooking dinner there every evening because it feels warm and peaceful. The bedroom is one of the easiest rooms to describe because everyone has one and it usually reflects the personal side of your life. A simple sentence like, my bedroom is cozy and quiet, or there is a bed in the middle, a desk by the window, and a small plant on the table shows both the layout and the feeling of the room. You can describe the colors, the lighting, or what you usually do there, such as reading, studying, or relaxing after work. Even small details like having a favorite blanket or a soft rug beside the bed can make your description sound natural and authentic. The bathroom is a simpler space but still useful to describe. You may say, my bathroom is small but clean, or there is a shower, a mirror, and white tiles that make the room feel bright. These everyday sentences help you communicate clearly in real-life situations, such as when booking a room, hosting guests, or describing your living place to new friends. Throughout all of these descriptions, adjectives play a powerful role. Words like cozy, spacious, bright, tidy, modern, peaceful, or simple help shape the atmosphere of your home. On the other hand, adjectives like messy, crowded, dark, or old also help express reality honestly. A sentence like, my apartment is small but tidy, or my living room is bright and peaceful, instantly creates an image in the listener's mind. As you begin practicing these descriptions, remember that your goal is not perfection. Your goal is clarity, natural expression, and confidence. When you imagine your home as you speak, your sentences flow more easily and your English becomes more vivid. And now that we've explored the inside of the home, how to describe rooms, atmosphere, and personal details, we're ready to step outside and talk about the world around your home, your neighborhood, your surroundings, and your daily environment. When you step outside your home, the world around you becomes just as important to describe as the rooms inside. Your neighborhood, the streets you walk on, the places you visit every day, they all help paint a complete picture of your daily life. Describing your surroundings in English not only helps you communicate better, but also allows you to share a part of your lifestyle and culture with others. So let's explore how you can naturally talk about the area around your home in a way that feels real simple and confident. A neighborhood can be quiet, busy, lively, peaceful, modern, friendly, or anything in between. You might live in a small town where everyone knows each other, or in a big city filled with tall buildings and constant energy. No matter where you live, you can begin with a simple phrase like, my neighborhood is quiet and friendly, or I live in a lively area with lots of shops and cafes. These short sentences set the tone and give listeners the first impression of your surroundings. After the general feeling, you can add details about what is near your home. For example, you could say there is a park near my house and many people go there in the morning, or my apartment is close to a grocery store, a bus stop, and a small bakery. These kinds of sentences are practical, natural, and extremely useful in conversations. They allow people to imagine what it's like to walk around your area and what you usually see every day. To make your description stronger, you can use prepositions of place. These include words like near, next to, across from, behind, and in front of. Instead of simply saying there is a supermarket, you can say there is a supermarket across from my building. Instead of there is a cafe, try there is a small cafe next to my house, and I often go there in the morning. By adding these small details, your English becomes more vivid and personal. Describing your neighborhood also includes talking about the atmosphere, how the area feels at different times of the day. Maybe your street is busy during the morning, but quiet in the evening. Maybe people walk their dogs at sunset or children play outside after school. You can say my neighborhood is busy in the daytime, but peaceful at night, or people often sit outside in the evenings talking and enjoying the fresh air. These kinds of sentences show not just appearance, but life and emotion. Knowing how to describe your surroundings also helps when you need to give directions, a very practical skill in English. Whether someone is visiting your home for the first time or you are explaining how to get somewhere simple, direction phrases are essential. You might begin with go straight, turn left, or turn right. Then you can add landmarks to make the directions clearer, such as turn left at the traffic light or go past the park, and my house is the second one on the right. People usually remember landmarks more easily than street names, so using places like supermarkets, cafes, or parks can make your directions much easier to follow. Describing your home environment is also a great chance to talk about what you enjoy around your neighborhood. Maybe there's a small cafe where you like to study, a quiet library, a beautiful garden, or a favorite restaurant. Sharing small habits makes your English sound natural and personal. For example, I love walking in the park near my house every morning, or there is a bakery next to my building and I always buy fresh bread there on weekends. These simple but personal sentences make your descriptions more real and engaging. Once you've understood how to describe where you live, it becomes even more fun to talk about where you wish you could live your dream home. Describing your dream home opens your imagination and lets you use expressive vocabulary. You might dream of a small house near the sea where you can hear the waves in the morning. Or maybe you imagine a wooden cabin in the mountains surrounded by trees and fresh air. You can start with a sentence like, "My dream home would be a peaceful house near the ocean, or I would love to live in a cabin with big windows and a warm fireplace." Adding details like bright rooms, beautiful views, or quiet gardens helps bring your dream to life. When you imagine showing your dream home to a friend, your descriptions become even more vivid. You might picture walking into a living room filled with natural light, a kitchen where you enjoy cooking, or a balcony where you sit with a cup of tea. Even though these places are imaginary, the vocabulary and expressions you use are real and very helpful for English practice. Describing what you see, what you feel, and what you enjoy helps you connect emotionally with the language, and that makes learning easier and more enjoyable. As you explore your real home, your neighborhood, and your dream home, remember that English becomes more natural when you add feeling, emotion, and personal experience. These descriptions reflect not only where you live, but also who you are, what you enjoy, and how you see the world. In the next part, we will build on everything you've learned so far and bring together the full picture to help you speak about your home with fluency, clarity, and confidence. When you put together all the ways to describe your home, its surroundings, and even your dream home, something special begins to happen. Your English becomes more than just vocabulary and grammar. It becomes a reflection of your lifestyle, your habits, and your personality. That is why describing your home is such an important skill. It's simple, familiar, and deeply personal, which makes it one of the easiest and most meaningful ways to practice speaking naturally. Now that you understand how to talk about the rooms inside your home and the neighborhood around it, you can begin connecting your descriptions with your daily routine. When you explain how you live, not just where you live, your English becomes more expressive and lively. For instance, instead of just saying, "My living room is bright," you might say, "I like to relax in my bright living room after work because it helps me unwind." A simple sentence like this brings together your environment and your emotions, creating a more natural and human way of speaking. The same goes for describing habits related to your home. You could say, "Every morning I sit on my balcony with a cup of tea," or "In the evenings I enjoy reading in my bedroom because it's quiet and cozy." These little details turn your description into a story. And stories are easier for listeners to connect with and remember. Another natural way to expand your description is by talking about how you decorate your home. Some people love minimal spaces with only a few items, while others enjoy colorful rooms filled with art books or plants. You can express your style with sentences like, "I prefer simple decoration with light colors," or "I love decorating my home with plants because they make the space feel alive." Talking about decoration isn't only useful for English, it also reveals your taste, your culture, and the atmosphere you enjoy living in. Culture plays a beautiful role in how people describe their homes. In some places, people remove their shoes before entering the house. In others, people decorate their walls with family photos or artwork. When you describe your home in English, sharing these cultural habits makes your conversation more interesting and meaningful. You might say, "In my culture, we always take off our shoes at the door," or "we like to decorate our home with photos of family gatherings." These small pieces of culture help others understand not just your home, but your values and traditions. Once you feel comfortable describing your own living space, you can make your English even more natural by imagining other people's homes. You can practice by listening to short descriptions and guessing what kind of person might live there. For example, if someone describes a tidy room with books everywhere, you may imagine a quiet reader or a teacher. If they describe a colorful home filled with music and art, you may imagine a creative person like an artist. Exercises like this build your ability to think in English and respond quickly in conversations. As you become more confident, you can review what you've learned and start forming fuller, richer descriptions. You already know how to talk about the type of home you live in, like a house or an apartment, how to describe specific rooms, how to share the feeling of each space, how to talk about your neighborhood, how to give directions, and how to describe your dream home. All of these small skills come together to help you communicate more clearly and more naturally. To practice, you can challenge yourself with a short speaking exercise. Describe your home in 5 or 6 sentences out loud. Begin with something simple like, "I live in a small apartment," then move to "My living room is bright and comfortable. My kitchen has white cabinets. My neighborhood is quiet and friendly," and maybe finish with "My dream home would be near the sea." Speaking out loud helps you build confidence, even if you are alone. If you want to improve even faster, try recording yourself and listening to how you sound. This helps you notice small mistakes, improve your pronunciation, and speak more smoothly. Never worry about being perfect. Every mistake is a step forward, and every new sentence is progress. Before we finish this topic, it's important to remember what the concept of home truly means. A home doesn't need to be big, modern, or expensive. It can be a tiny room, a simple apartment, or an old house. What matters is the feeling it gives you, the peace, comfort, safety, and warmth that make everyday life meaningful. When you describe your home in English, you are really describing a part of your heart. You are sharing the place where you rest, grow, dream, and build memories. You are showing people a little piece of your world, and that kind of connection makes language powerful. Thank you for joining me in this lesson. If you enjoyed learning through this topic, don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend who is also learning English, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below describing your own home. I'd love to read your sentences and see how you bring your English to life.